Hello. Welcome. This is the 6 yard box. Welcome to the 6 yard box. And this is the Footy podcast. And this is just podcast to go over the Premier League weekend, the Premier League preview for this week, and the podcast as well. We're going to be talking about that World Cup break. We're going to be talking about so many stuff. It's roughly about 45 minutes an hour for the podcast. This is the Footy podcast. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Let's look at the Premier League games over this weekend. That's the first thing we'll be looking at in the podcast. If you're new as well, make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. You know what you want to do, just do it. Just click on the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. So let's get into it quickly. Let's go into the Premier League fixtures for the week and see what the games are for this weekend. That's what we're going to talk about first, the Premier League weekend. We just look at all the games over this weekend. Please follow, like, share, subscribe to the channel, all that fantastic stuff that we normally do. And then we're going to be looking at the what do you call it? We're going to be looking at the Premier League games as well over this weekend, like I said before. So don't worry about me. I'm just repeating myself. So we're going to talk about the World Cup break. We're going to talk about a little bit about Tottenham as well. We're going to talk about let's just check. We're going to talk a lot of stuff into my camera. What's wrong with the camera, to be honest? So let's get into it. So let's look at the fixtures for this weekend. We're going to be let's get into the fixtures for this weekend. We're gonna be let's look at this. Let's look at those games over this weekend quickly. Let's look at those games over this weekend quickly. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff as well. Let's just look at the games over this weekend. The games over this weekend quickly. Yes, let's look at those games over this weekend. So that's the Premier League fixtures for this weekend on the right hand side. Let's look at those games played over this weekend quickly. So it kicks off at let's go back. Let's just look at all the matches, to be honest. I know, but that looks like it's just Tottenham fixtures. So let's just go back and look at all the fixtures in the Premier League for this weekend. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, follow, like as well. Subscribe so you can get all the notifications. This is the Footy podcast. We're just looking games over the weekend. We're going to be talking about World Cup break as well. That World Cup break, I'll be picking my England 11, England squad as well. So I'll be doing that as well. And we'll be talking about other stuff in the world of football, mainly football, what friendlies are coming on, World Cup friendlies as well. We're going to be World Cup show as well. We'll be looking in the World Cup games as well. So make sure you join me for that one. So the Premier League, the Premier League game with Man City taking on Brentford. They're still second. They won a game last week. Just I expect them to be. They're not flying the way they were flying before the season. It's going to be tough one tomorrow. It's going to be a very tough one tomorrow for Tottenham. They have to match Leeds. If they don't, there's going to be a defeat. I'm afraid. They have to match the Leeds energy, and they just have to look for those spaces. Look for how to find that right and the right angles and they have to keep the ball wide. They have to make sure they get into those wide spaces and try and get goals against this Leeds team. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough for Leeds for Tottenham tomorrow, but I can see Tottenham picking up the 3 points on this one tomorrow. And then we go on to the Forest Crystal Palace. I think Forest will be, it will be interesting to see how Forest play on this one. They need to win. They got to win against Tottenham in the Europa League midweek. In the Europa League, in the Carabao Cup, playing their second team. So I think they've got their first 11 well rested for this one. I think it's going to be tough for Tottenham, and I think, sorry for Crystal Palace, but I think Palace are a good side. I think Palace will get a win tomorrow. I think it'll be 2-1 to Palace. Newcastle Chelsea, that's one of the games of the week tomorrow. It's going to be a good one to watch. I do a watch along for that one as well. It's going to be very tough tomorrow for Chelsea. Chelsea, I think they're lacking in confidence. They lost last week to Brighton, and they lost again to Arsenal. So it's going to be very tough for them at Newcastle. The crowd, Newcastle are playing well. One of the team in form right now in the league. They got very strong defense. Almiron is scoring goals. Callum Wilson, unfortunately, I think he's injured. But he's going to he's being selected for the World Cup as well, and he's injured. And I think that's where the problem is. And it is a case of, how do you play without Wilson for Newcastle? But I think they should be able to go. I don't know who's going to play as a striker. I don't think they got a striker because I think Isak is injured as well. So it's going to be a way for them to, they can just carry that momentum and just win this last game before the World Cup. Chelsea, I don't know what's going to happen with Chelsea tomorrow, to be honest. They've got, they look really, really off, off the pace against Arsenal. They were just playing the ball in the middle. Everybody was playing through the middle, trying to play through the middle. There was no width. They didn't play with any cohesion. They just look all over the place, man. I think the manager needs his own preseason, and it takes time. When manager comes in, there's an idea, there's a philosophy, there's a way that he wants to play, and it takes time before the teams get into the way the manager wants to play. So it's going to be a really tough one for it's going to be a really tough one for what was I saying? It's going to be a really tough one for it's going to be a really tough one for Leeds, for Newcastle. So we see the way they play. We see the way they play tomorrow. Newcastle is going to be very, very, very tough for Chelsea. Sorry, and I can only see one team winning this one tomorrow. I can only see a win for Newcastle, and it's going to be maybe 2-0 to Newcastle. Also tomorrow, Arsenal going to Wolves. Tomorrow, Wolves have not been playing that well. They've got a new manager, Lopetegui from Valencia. He used to coach Valencia, or I can't remember the team he used to coach, or was it Seville? He's a very, very good manager. He's coming in. He's got pedigree. He's won the Europa League, and he's going to be coming into Wolves. I think he comes in after the World Cup. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a very tough one because Arsenal are banging form. They come there with confidence. If Arsenal could pull off the victory tomorrow, they'll be top of the league going into the World Cup break. I think it's going to be a tough game as well. I don't know who's going to win this one, I must say. But I think Arsenal have the edge because they're the team in form. And it's going to be tough. I think the Wolves players might react, but I can only see Arsenal. I can see Arsenal winning this one. But I won't be surprised if Wolves get a draw, because the players will want to impress the new manager. So, but I can only go towards Arsenal on this one. I think Arsenal have been playing well this first half of the season. They played really well against the big boys as well. They won their games, but there's still a long way to go. They still got to go to Tottenham. They got to go to Liverpool. They still got to play City as well. They got big games to play, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But they're playing really well, and they deserve to be top of the table coming from a Tottenham fan. So, for me, I speak we speak the truth. We don't. There's no BS here. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. This is Footy Mad podcast. It's all about what do you call it? It's all about the podcast. It's all about talking about the Premier League over this weekend, and also looking at the World Cup. World Cup squad, England squad. I'm going to be picking my own squad for the World Cup, and we'll be doing that as well. And we'll be, just talking about the World Cup in general. Just a little bit of a teaser before we go into the World Cup next week. Imagine the first game for the World Cup is next week, Sunday. That's when the World Cup kicks off. Next week, Sunday. I can't believe it, man. It's really, really close. Although Nigeria is not qualified, which is a bit of a pain. But I'll be supporting all the African teams, and I'll be supporting Portugal. Portugal is my team. I don't know why I just support Portugal. I don't have a clue, but for some reason, I just maybe I was Portuguese in my previous life. So yeah, I'll be supporting Portugal. So I've been to Portugal on holiday as well. It was lovely. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I think I'll be supporting Portugal. So let's go on to the next fixtures. Is Brighton taking on Aston Villa? That should be a good one. Villa beat Manchester United last weekend. Although they played them in the Carabao Cup, they lost. Brighton is they won 2 in a row now after losing 2 when the new coach came over. Now they won 2 in a row. They're looking really, really, really good. They're a good team. The foundation is there. The manager is the same. They got a good manager. The way they play their football, they pass it. They press it. They get the ball wide. They got people. They got players and the right positions. Everybody knows what they're doing. They press at the same time. It's very, very coordinated, very organized team. And yeah, I can only see one win. I think they'll beat Villa tomorrow, maybe by 2-0 or 2-1 on Sunday. Sorry, the match is on Sunday, so I can only see one win. I think Brighton will win that comfortably, maybe 2-0 or even 3-1. Then we go to the last game of the round of 16. It is Fulham taking on Man United. Fulham are playing really well. They're one of the teams in the playing really well in the league. They've been really, really, I've been impressed with them, with Mitrovic. I've got other players in there as well. So I've been really, really impressed. I think they've played really well. They've got a lot of energy. They've got a lot of good players in defense, especially, and they got midfielder as well. Midfielder is good. They got Mitrovic up front as well. So they're going to cause a lot of problems. Manchester is one of the oldest pitch in the league. State grounds in the league. Small. So you gotta be up for that fight. They don't get their game on tomorrow, they'll struggle. I can see it being a draw. The fans are going to be up for it tomorrow. So yeah, that's the Fulham versus Manchester United. That's our preview of the weekend game day kicks off, and yeah, so yeah, that's league for this week. Make sure you keep your diaries open. We're going to be doing the watch-alongs in the World Cup as well. We're going to do a World Cup preview. That's going to be dropping on Saturday. Saturday the 18th or 19th. Saturday the 19th. That'll be great. Don't worry about that. That's my laptop. Just making that sound. I don't know what. So yeah, it will be dropping on Saturday the 19th. That's the day before the World Cup. I don't know what's wrong with my laptop, to be honest. So it's that's why we need a lot of that's why we need a lot of what do you call it? A lot of funding. We need a lot of money. We need a lot of funding for the channel. But we'll be getting a new laptop. Hopefully Black Friday. Black Friday is coming very soon, so we'll be getting a new laptop, and yeah, we'll be. It's so funny, man. The sound is like really, really interesting, but yeah, we ignore that one for now. So let's go into my the World Cup selection. I'm picking my own England team, and then we're going to talk about the England's chances for the World Cup as well. We're going to be discussing that as well. We're going to be looking at some of the friendlies, World Cup friendlies that you can look up to, especially involving Nigeria. Because Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup, but we'll be playing. Just I think it's just before the World Cup. I think they're only playing one game actually before the World Cup, and we're going to be looking at some of their fixtures as well. So yeah, let's go into my World Cup prediction. World Cup prediction. Let me get my World Cup board up and running so we can get into the prediction. And let's see what we're going to do. Let me get my World Cup prediction up and running. I think we need to stop sharing that one. Let's get the World Cup prediction on. World Cup prediction on. Let me get that one. This is the Footy Mad, and this is podcast, Footy Mad podcast, episode 5. And yeah, this is where we just just talk about football, everything football. So and this is just us looking at the World Cup as well, England squad, and I'm gonna be picking my own England squad. So let's get into that really quickly. Um, that's my. Uh, let's go into that really quickly. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that really quickly. Um, Gonna pick up my England squad really quickly. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Follow, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like, share the channel. Let's get into that World Cup squad prediction. And let me pick my World Cup squad. So I've already put. You can see I've put. I've got what's his name? I've got Pickford there. Pickford is there already because I think he's the goalkeeper. He's the main guy. He's the man for he's the man for the show. We can do it that way. Let's see what we can see. We can do it that way. Let's see. World Cup squad is there. So let's do. Let's got the we got Pickford in there. Pickford is the man in goal for me. I think they're going to play 4-4-3 because he could play 3 at the back as well. 3 play with 5 in midfield. Could play 3-4-3, or he could play 3-5-2. But I think he normally plays 4-4-3. So Pickford is the man in goal for me. I think he's the man that will play in goal. Right back will be for that first game will be Trent. I think Trent wouldn't have to defend that much in this game. I think against Iran. I've not seen Iran play. I remember Nigeria playing them a couple of times in the past at one World Cup, and I was really surprised how defensive they were. Nigeria attacked them from the off, and they defended really, really well. They were really, really solid in defense. They didn't let Nigeria, they didn't allow Nigeria any space, and they played really well. They were so defensive. Nigeria found it really difficult to break them down. So yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for England. England are going to have a lot of possession, but I think they're going to defend and they're going to play on the counter. And from that experience against Nigeria, then I was really surprised. Nigeria had all the very all their big players playing against Iran as well, and it was so difficult for Nigeria to break them down. And yeah, it was. I remember that game was goalless. So England are going to have all the possession, but I think Trent should be good on that one. They're going to have a lot of possession. The centre back position. Um, there's only I don't know. There's only a couple of players that will go in there. I don't know if Kyle Walker is just coming back from injury, so I don't think he's going to play that first game. So I think he's going to play Harry Maguire on the right hand side of defense. And Maguire has not been playing well for his team. Not been playing at all for him. He's not been playing at all for Manchester United, but I think he will be in the team for this one. So I'm going to tip Harry Maguire to get into the team to play on that right hand side of the centre back. On the left hand side of the centre back, I think he's going to go with John Stones. He's going to be the man on that side. I think John Stone is. I'm not sure if he's played a couple of games. I think he's played a couple of. He's been in and out of the City team. I think he's he's going to be the man. John Stone is very good, very steady. I think he's one of the better centre backs in there for England, and I think he's going to play in there next to Harry Maguire. And left back, there's only going to be one person. Luke Shaw will play on that left-hand side of a left back because England in this game against Iran, they're just going to be, going to have loads of the ball. This team is just, I'm going to pick this team. This is 11 for that first game against Iran, which is actually next week, Monday. So by this time, next week, England must have played already. So next week, Monday, England will be playing Iran. By this time, they must have played Iran already. So he's going to play Shaw on the left-hand side. I think Shaw will be the man. England, they don't have to defend that much because I think they will have all the possession. It's a case of breaking Iran down and watching out for that counter-attack. In this three in midfield, I think he will play. Personally, I think I will play personally in three in that midfield. I will play. I'll play Jude Bellingham on that right. Bellingham box to box. I like this boy. I like him a lot. Seen him play for Dortmund a couple of times. He's a very, very good player. Very, very good boy. He's so young as well. I think he's 19 or something. I think he's very young. I don't think he's 20 yet. I'm not sure, but he's very, very young. The way he speaks as well, he speaks really well. So comfortable, confident young man. And his football tells it all. I think he's going to be one hell of a player for England, for Dortmund. And he's a very, very good player. Yeah, I think he will play against Iran in that first game. Next to him in midfield, I think there's only going to be one person. And he's been very impressive as well. I think Declan Rice will play in that first match. He will be in the center of that three in midfield. Bellingham can bust. I think England just need to go for it. I think they're going to have all the possession. They just have to watch out for the counter attacks. The fullback should fly forward. England can play 2v1 in as the defenders. I don't know about the Iraqi player, but I know they defend really well. That's one thing I know. So England just have to be careful about the pacing behind. But they're going to have all the possession. So I think England should just go for it and try and get that first win. So I think Declan Rice will play in midfield next to Declan Rice. I don't know what's going to happen because we don't want to play with three defensive midfielders. I think Jude Bellingham is okay. I'll play Maddison, man. I think I'll play James Maddison in that midfield three. I'll play him in the middle. I'll play James Maddison in that midfield three. But because I don't think England need two defensive midfielders there. So yeah, I'll put. I don't know. It's difficult because you want to get a lot of possession. You want to just bomb forward and attack them. Do you need two defensive midfielders in there? I don't know. Kevin Phillips is a defensive midfielder. Declan Rice is box to box. So yeah, I think I'll just play James Maddison in there. James Maddison can move into this area as well. Can play in this area for England if England decides to go. When they kick off, James Maddison can come into this area and most times and play behind these three at the back front here. and England can just play with Declan Rice and Bellingham in midfield, two in midfield. I think that should be enough. But I'll go with Maddison in there. But Maddison is more of a 10 and comes into this area, plays it behind it, between the lines there, and just roaming free. And then on the left for England, three forwards. For England, I'll play. Yeah, Bukayo Saka. He plays on the right for Arsenal. I'll play him on that side. Bukayo Saka. He's very, very good. Quick pace. Very, very good. Speedy. I'll play him there. And then going forward as well, England are going to have loads of possession. So just go for it with a lot of pace. People that can dribble both left or right. You can press them as well when they have the ball. On the right hand side, I think I'll play Mason Mount because he's got a lot of energy. Phil Foden, or it's a case of Foden or Maddison in there. So I'll put Maddison there. I'll play Mason Mount on the right. Mason Mount is very, very impressive, really high as well. I think that's what I'll do. I'll play Mount there. Mount presses a lot of energy. England are going to have loads of the ball, so you can press them when they try and play out. If you can do that, go and press them in their half as well. I'll play Mount there. You can play, what's his name? You can play Sterling as well. I think it's a toss-up between the two, but I think I'll go for Mount. Mount is high energy, presses all over the pitch. I'll play him in there. And then up top, there's only going to be one man there for that position. And, there's only going to be one man in that position. For me, it's going to be Harry Kane playing at the top of the team as a striker. And this will be my first 11 for that first game. For that game against Iran, I think this team, I think they can go and play Iran off the park, press them. Iran are going to give you all the possession you want. Just go for the kill. Attack every single opportunity, play different formations as well. 4-3-3 looks really, really good. Just to get expansive, get wide, with the wing backs. The wing backs should bump forward as well. So I don't think the system makes any difference. I think in that game is all about the attitude of the England players. They think, yeah, we're better. We're going to go there. We're going to put it on you. We're going to win this game. I think that's all that counts in this game. And I think with this formation, I think England can get a result. But it depends on what the players want to do. They have to go and really, really put it on the Iraqi on the Iraqis if they really want to win. And I think that should be the team. Maddison, like I said, could play instead of Foden, but I'll just go with just Declan Rice as the only defensive midfielder in there, and make Bellingham and Maddison box to box. Maddison can get on the ball and put the passes in for Kane, Saka, or Mount. So that's my team for that first game. I think England should win that game. But they just have to go and win it. It's good. It's all easier said on paper. You can see it on paper and see they should go and win it, but they still have to go and do it. So that's my England team for the Iraqi game. That's my first 11 for the Iraqi game. Next week, Monday, not next week, Monday week. Monday week. That's it. On the 21st. So that's all the talk about England. Let's go on now to Nigeria. Nigeria obviously didn't qualify for the World Cup, so they've got friendlies coming up. They've got a friendly with Portugal on the 17th, Thursday, the 17th, which is this Thursday coming up. So they're going to be playing. I don't even know where they're playing the match. Let's just check that. Let's check that. Let's check where Nigeria are playing. Let's check where Nigeria are playing. They're playing in that friendly against Portugal. Just want to check where they're playing that friendly against Portugal. It should be, I think it's somewhere in Europe actually. Let's look at the Nigerian fixtures. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. This is the 6 Yard Box. This is the Footy podcast, where we look at everything Nigeria. We're looking at the Nigerian games now in a friendly year. Nigeria are playing Portugal in there's no venues here for you, so I don't know where they're playing it, but they're playing Portugal on Thursday the 17th at 9. I think obviously it's going to be in Portugal, I think, at 9:45. So yeah, that should be at no, actually at 6:45, at 18:45. At 6:45, it's going to be on Thursday the 17th. So should be looking forward to that one. And then they go on to play the African Nations Cup, which is a game that will be next year, 2023, 20th of March, 2023. And then they've got a couple of games next year as well. So nothing much really happening in terms of Nigeria national team apart from that game against Portugal on Thursday. Nigeria didn't qualify for the World Cup, which is a big, big shame. It would have been nice to watch the team in the World Cup, but it goes. That's how it goes sometimes. So yeah, this is Footy Mad Podcast, and this is 6 Yard Box. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. Yeah, I think that's it. Really, we've come to the end of this podcast. It's all about the Premier League preview, looking at the last game before the World Cup. We're going to be back with another episode before the World Cup or during the World Cup. So we're doing a couple of podcasts as well. So yeah, we're going to try and put this one on Anchor as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow, like, share, all that good stuff. What else do we want to talk about? Anything else? Let me see. I think that's just it. There's going to be a special analysis on Tottenham. We're going to do this analysis on Tottenham's second half shows. We're going to be having a match analysis. We're going to be looking at tactical board and then look at the difference in the first half and the second half, just analyzing and looking at why Tottenham are playing that way and how they can address it. I think it's just normal common stuff, little stuff. I just want to find out if it comes from the players are playing that way, or maybe the manager asked them to play that way. I think there's a little bit of a mix and match between the situation, because you can't really tell. But we're going to be looking at some of the tactics and the way teams are set up, and then we want to draw our conclusions into whether the manager asked them to play that way and the first halves, and or whether the team just can't. Because sometimes the team will go out and you as a manager, you don't know what they're going to give you until you actually see them playing. Sometimes you'll be surprised. And I know sometimes managers can tell as well. Manager can tell, because I was in terms of the match against the Forest in midweek where Tottenham lost 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. The manager was saying that he thanked his players for giving everything. And sometimes maybe he's seen something in training, or the way he talks to the players, he sees the players every day. He must have looked at them in training and think the energy is not quite there. And he must have just hoped they will push themselves in that match. But we're going to be talking about that, because I can't really understand why squad players can't come in and perform. It's a mentality. I think it's a mentality thing as well. I think you've got to have a very strong squad with good mentality, and you want your team to be able to come onto the pitch, whether the first 11 or the second team, you want them to have that drive and that that energy, that bite that they want to. Like, we want to create a nice little competition in the squad, and it's very difficult sometimes to do it with players that know they won't be playing. And I think it's a very, very bad attitude as well for players to think, yeah, well, I'm not playing anyway. I'm not in the first team, so I won't give everything. So we're going to be looking at that in our analysis of tactical. We're doing a tactical board, and it's called Analyzing Tottenham. So we're going to be doing that. That will be dropping sometime next week, just the World Cup, because next week there will be no football, there will be no Premier League. It's going to be World Cup from Saturday. So we're going to do Premier League review, looking back on the games over this weekend. There's a watch along tomorrow, Tottenham taking on Leeds, and at 3 o'clock kickoff. We're going to be doing so many watch along. We're watching looking at all the other games, and then it's going to be getting ready for the World Cup. And just set your notifications if you're new. This is the 6 yard box. We talk more football, less banter, and it's all about the weekend. One more game before the World Cup, and then it's going to be Premier League on hold till the 26th of December, which is Boxing Day. So thank you very much for watching. If you're new, please, please, please subscribe. We want to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be a perfect Christmas present. And if you're, really appreciate if you can do that. Thank you very much for watching again. Like I said, take care of yourself. This is the Footy Mad podcast. I'll see you next time. This is episode 5. Take care and God bless.